of no value. This is the mind that is reflected through the words that come out of the mouth. And this is what Christ is saying we have to use the Holy Spirit to control, to get a hand on this. So this is the spiritual going way beyond the action of not just killing, but it's the controlling of the mind so that we are not even thinking that others are worthless, that others are useless and of no value. And he goes on here in verse 23. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has aught against you, leave there your gift before the altar and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. The key here, once again, is remember. If you've got a problem with somebody, remember. And remember is an action of the mind. It's not an action of the body. It's something you're thinking about. And we're going to see as we go through here, all of this is thinking. All of this is reflection. All of these things are taking place where only you know about it. Nobody else knows about what's going on in your mind. Only you. And that's where the Holy Spirit works, as we're going to see here. The Holy Spirit works in your mind, and the thoughts of sin originate in the mind. So if you have aught against somebody, whatever it might be, notice the opposite of this in verse 24, first be reconciled. So there's the intended meaning of the Ten Commandments, is to be reconciled rather than having negative thoughts or killing thoughts against somebody. And of course, to be reconciled is the equivalent of to love your neighbor. That is what it means. Now, love your neighbor doesn't mean you have to go and pat them and say nice words to them. Here, in this case, it simply means to be reconciled, be at peace with this individual. And we have this example in what's called the Lord's Prayer. We're going to get to this in Matthew 6, verse 12. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. We want God to forgive us, but it says here, as we forgive our debtors. So we have to go and be reconciled. The first movement in that sense is as we forgive our debtors, as we're reconciled before we give our offerings here. Part of what it is to be Christian. In this way, this is the way to serve at the altar. This is the Christian life that we are to be putting into practice. And then it goes on here in verse 25. Agree with your adversary quickly while you are in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and you be cast into prison. Verily I say unto you, you shall by no means come out thence till you have paid the uttermost farthing. So once again, we have these 2 points here. Adversary and agree in verse 25 and 26, in the way, rather than having this adverse situation, figure something out. And once again, he's saying here, think. You got to work something out to get to this agreement. Unlock Scripture's core meaning with Biblical Hebrew made simple. No reading, no memorizing. Get your free mini course now. theexplanation.com/naked.